So recently I had conducted a community poll, and the question was, who is your favorite investment or plan B influencer on YouTube? This was a very interesting poll because it's very important within the similar subscriber base, meaning a lot of my subscribers obviously view other channels and similar content. A lot of us do the same thing, which is talk about residencies and citizenships and opportunities and investments within the RCBI domain. It's very important to understand what the community feels, who the community likes, who is at the top, and who are the top 2 or 3 people who really matter within the RCBI domain. One of the options was clearly Andrew Henderson of Nomad Capitalist, a very popular channel, original nomad channel in a lot of ways. The second option was Rafael Cintron, a very, very quick and fast mover. I don't think he has been around anywhere as close as Andrew Henderson, but he has climbed up the ladder. He obviously comes from a very strong marketing background. So it was only a matter of time. He started a channel and then he was always bound to grow very fast because he is talented. And secondly, I think because of his past experience, it was always easy for him. It was not as if he was starting from scratch. He was new to YouTube. The business was new, but YouTube was always a part of what he did. Climbed up really quick. The number of viewers and the subscriber rate is great. He's really quick growing, much faster than a lot of other YouTubers within this RCBI domain. And I definitely connect with him on a lot of topics. I think he is one person who's slightly different, meaning he got the options, he talks about them, he shows what he has and tries to lead by example. Some people think, we push certain options, but in his case, yes, he does talk about Dubai, St. Kitts and Nevis and all of that. Now, I had a very recent interview. He appeared on my channel, obviously, and again, we had a great conversation where I asked him some direct questions regarding that combination that he likes to talk about, the St. Kitts and Nevis and the Dubai passport combination. So if you have missed that coverage or that interview with wealthy expat Rafael Cintron, you can always return and take a look at this video. The third option was Graham Stephen. Now, I thought this guy is going to be much more popular and is going to get a lot more votes than what he got, but surprisingly, he had the lowest number of votes out of the 4 categories. He's pure investments. I think this niche is not just about the finance. This niche is also about Plan B securities, residencies, citizenships, and investments that gets you the Plan B security, tax optimization solutions, options, and a whole lot of that flavor. So this niche is slightly different than just the pure finance niche. The pure finance niche doesn't care about security and safety and Plan B and all that kind of stuff. It's purely money invested, money in return. So that is what that does. This has a lot of layers and flavors, and this is more optimized in a lot of ways. We're looking for a lot of stuff out of this. We are concerned. We have our fears because we are doing the tough job of moving global. Again, some of the countries that we have in our portfolio are quite challenging. That is where this whole permutation, combination, and then the investments play a role. And the fourth option, I wanted to keep it open to hear who else does the subscriber base feel is important, needs to be talked about. What's particularly interesting, and again, the winner was clearly Andrew Henderson. One of the biggest reasons why Andrew Henderson was the winner, I believe, with 60%. Again, that's not, considering others were 40%, it's still a good sign, right? There are others who are well regarded within this niche. So the reason why obviously Andrew Henderson scores 60 is because obviously of his quality content and the fact that he has been around for a while, has a lot more content than any of us because obviously of the time that he has spent in the industry. One of the changes that I particularly, again, I can understand where he's coming from. One change that I particularly didn't enjoy is he was used to being the face of the channel. So he spoke a lot all the time. Now there are random people, or not, I shouldn't say it random, but he has his staff talking, which is a good change for him. Obviously, he needs to take a break. He needs to let his company people talk and obviously share options, takes the workload off of him, but then again splits the viewer base. People view his channel primarily because of what he talks and what he speaks. When the same script is spoken by someone else, that may not connect as well as he connects, which is obvious. Let me know what you think about that change as part of what he is doing in the comments. All right, let me read some very interesting comments that I received on this poll. And one of the commenters says, I like your channel, and also Michael Rosmer of Offshore Citizen. You both talk about more interesting niche options that the main guys don't talk. Regards from one Jay to another. All right, thanks Jay, I appreciate that. Just like someone else mentioned, Offshore Citizen is my favorite. Interesting. I don't even know the guy Graham. Why is he on the list? And he talks about some investment related content, but nothing to do with Plan B or offshore or a second passport, etc. Makes sense. People within this micro niche, I won't say micro niche, but this is a very specialized niche. People within this domain want to hear more about the passports. Yes, the investment is central, but they want to hear more about the residencies, the passports, and all that kind of stuff. So this is an understanding comment. Nice poll. I prefer smaller channels, honestly, that provide more realistic information, like Goodlife Investor. Thank you, buddy. Your topics are interesting, and you don't sugarcoat things or copy others. Well, appreciate that comment. Andrew has been grinding longer than Rafael, but I enjoy both of their content. Aside from your channel, I like Invest Global, Wandering Investor, and Enzo and Partners. I also watch Offshore Citizen, probably not as often as the other three mentioned, but as a Canadian, I can sometimes find some of Michael's information more directly relevant to me. Well, interesting comments. I agree with a lot of these comments. I personally feel the same. I think some smaller channels talk about some bold stuff, and some very well-established channels have to be more diplomatic or polite or whatever you may want to call it. And each one has their personality. I think one of the things of part of being a YouTuber, more than a company, more than a business, that's secondary stuff. I think what's very important is the personality and what people feel about you. Two or three things. One is the intelligence and the the analytical capability. How much does the person understand this stuff? How knowledgeable he is on all these things. That's very important. This is a complex domain, I feel, because there's a lot of permutation combinations. Very few options. You got to work with limited options. They're all challenging. Nothing is easy. And when you are knowledgeable, analytical, and you package all of this stuff correctly, that is what shows when you talk about this stuff. People understand if you're intelligent or just BSing, because a lot of people, a lot of viewers are smart, intelligent viewers. So BS does not work. So people are very quick on identifying that. Apart from that, then it's the personality. And then comes the whole business component of all of this, right? Everyone wants to earn a living. So everyone is trying to strike the balance between doing this for passion, for interest, and all of that, versus obviously trying to run a business on the side. Well, I hope you liked this coverage. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed so you get access to all my videos. And until next time, you take care and goodbye.